Hello everybody and welcome to today's Sunday sermon. After Christmas, the euphoria of Christmas, we are now with the Holy Family, which is another beautiful feast. The Holy Family consisting of Jesus, Mary and Joseph. And today it's all about family. And of course, Jesus, Mary and Joseph are the model family. Now, the strange thing about the model family is that we know very little about what happened in Nazareth. It's the hidden life of Jesus. We just get a few snippets. When they went at the age of 12, when he was 12, they went to Jerusalem and he got lost. And then they say at the end of that piece that he remained subject to them and grew in knowledge and wisdom. We know very little, but yet our Holy Family are Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Now, what makes it a Holy Family? Obviously, Jesus is the Son of God. He's God, and therefore it's a Holy Family. He's making it holy. Now, he's a young man growing up, starting with being a baby, like all of us, and going through the phases of life. But he is still the Son of God, and that's making that home very, very special. Simeon is in the temple and he takes up the child and he says, this child will bring many and many a trouble to you, to his mother, he says, and a sword will pierce your heart. So they both know, both Joseph and Mary know, that this is not a house as the kitchen party. No, this is actually a tough grind. And even though he's the Son of God, there is still the responsibility that they have as parents. And of course, the responsibilities of Jesus as a young man to be subject to his parents. This is where the model comes in, I suppose. And grace-filled family, because Jesus is the Son of God. And of course, both Mary and Jesus, and both Mary and Joseph are saints. So we know that there was plenty suffering from the very word go. Of course, we don't know what happened in their village when Mary was found to be with child before she married Joseph and what people might be saying. But nevertheless, Joseph, through a dream, went ahead and took her into his home. There was the beginning, I would say, of suffering and the tongues wagging in the neighborhood. And then you had the coming of the birth, having to go over to Bethlehem, the hometown of Joseph, and not finding any room at the inn. Here was suffering. Why were there not? This was his hometown, his home village. In an African context, when you come to your village, you are most welcome in any house. So obviously there may have been trouble there when people saw Joseph and Mary and she's about to deliver, and they said, maybe. I'm just adding to it now, conjecturing. This is conjecture. So, very likely. So they had to go to a very out-of-the-way place. Some call it a cave and some call it a place where cows were kept in a cow house. And the most beautiful scene in the world, I suppose, and the most talked about scene in the world is the birth of Jesus in that little manger where the cows were having their hay to eat. So this is where the God of heaven, the Creator, has come among us, and this is what he has to endure, and his parents. And then not only after being born, he has to rush, their parents have to rush off into Egypt. They become refugees in Egypt. I think we don't think about that. They had to flee and go on into Egypt and stay there until Herod was dead. Here is another incredible side of their life, and where they can empathize with today's world, and probably always have been in our world, where people are going abroad out of their own environment and into a new country and trying to make a go of life there. Now, when they hear Herod is dead, they come back and they settle back into Nazareth, where they live until he emerges as a preacher at the age of 30. We don't see any sign of Joseph. Joseph must have died. And the tradition is that he did die, in fact. And here now, Jesus begins his ministry. Why he came in the first place. And it only lasted 3 years. He died as a common criminal on a cross. Anybody there passing by would say, oh, well, he probably deserved it. And we would be included there if we didn't understand. And it's very difficult to understand the death of Jesus in the cross. And we know now from the spiritual point of view that this is the sacrifice that he made is our liberation from our sins. We can't get mercy for our sins, only the mercy that comes through that death on the cross. So this is the home. We're talking about the Holy Family, mind you. And the example that it is for us to follow. And I suppose it's a Sunday for all families who are together, who like to are together, and they can pray, at least pray to Jesus, Mary and Joseph for guidance. And above all, Jesus being the head of every household if we profess to be Christian. So Nazareth is our model in that sense, and it's anything more than the usual, except you have to look at it from a spiritual point of view. So the Holy Family speaks to the reality of every family. First of all, in the midst of this family is the Son of God. This is why it is our example and an avenue for grace for us and our families. The Holy Family speaks to the reality of every family. Their love brought the love of God in the person of Jesus Christ. What I mean is, and what this writer means, is they were chosen and they loved each other. And in that sense, God came into their family and was their child, choose to be. So they are blessed in that way. So likewise, the love of a husband and wife is a blessing from God. So without the spiritual aspect of our marriage, it's not easy for it to survive. Well, it can, of course, but it enriches it's not an optional extra though, so it's something that we all should desire. And if we have Christ in our midst as our head of the family, then all problems will be solved eventually, if not immediately. There is no road in this life that's free of thorns and boulders and obstacles. And the very same, even though we love each other when we get married, there will be challenges. There will always be a perfecting, a refinement of that love. And that's the kind of sword that Simeon is speaking about as well. Of course, we know Mary had to see her son crucified, which is the ultimate suffering, to see your own flesh and blood mistreated and badly treated. Millions of families today are on the road and on the run, fleeing oppressive situations and governments, even religious persecution. We also live in a narcissistic culture that seemingly knows no limits. That means it's all for oneself only. This poses serious threats to family life and gospel values. So the Archbishop Etienne says in his final comments, I wish to acknowledge the many hardships that husbands and wives go through, and those who remain faithful to their marriage promises and to their faith. A family that stays together, prays together, will stay together, and who tries to maintain the values that are so important for our lives as Christians. And as family, we are enriched and endowed by the love that God has given to us when we are obedient to Him and submissive to His will. I wish all of you a blessed new year coming up, and the restoration of family life and community life may happen sooner than later in the new year. And may the love and peace that comes from knowing the Holy Family be with you always, and especially in your family life. May God bless you. Have a lovely week ahead.